Hey guys, how's it going? Austin Reed here, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Alright, in this video, I'm going to teach you guys how to negotiate getting paid for a concert. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Alright, so you finally got that phone call from that venue owner, or you made that phone call, or you got the reply email, and now it's time to talk numbers. But you don't really know how to talk numbers because you're a musician, you're not a businessman, right? Well, let's go ahead and help you guys with that. So, step one, I'm going to talk about the different methods of being paid as a musician so that you can kind of understand different options that are on the table and kind of help you better understand how to pitch yourself, okay? And obviously, this is going to change based on the venue sizes that you're trying to play. So the very first thing is ticket sales. And this is the most common. You guys have probably heard about this. And no, ticket sales is not a ripoff. Ticket sales is actually really, really awesome if you understand how to market, okay? So if you're having trouble filling a venue with ticket sales, with pre-ticket sales, then I would say work on it a lot. I know that Guerrilla Music is one of the people that I've worked with before that oftentimes does a bunch of ticket sales for like beginner bands. You can most likely get those shows like really easily. Learn how to sell those tickets, you guys will do really, really well. Now, generally, you're going to make anywhere between like 40 to 70% of the ticket. You can make 100% of the ticket if you're the one planning the event, if you actually rent out the venue. But if you're not renting out the venue, generally, you're going to take about 70% is your maximum. And yeah, so that's kind of what you're looking at with ticket sales. The next way to get paid is alcohol sales and food sales. Now this is fucking awesome. If you can get a percentage of alcohol sales, you want a percentage of alcohol sales. It is amazing. Your people will drink. And if you're really, really good on stage, you can actually get your people to drink more. And if you bring a lot of people, then, you know, it'll just be a fest and it'll be awesome for you. Now, generally speaking, you're going to make anywhere between 5 to maybe 15% of alcohol sales, depending on the venue. And that goes the same for food. Generally, it only goes up to about 10, maybe 15% of the food. It just kind of depends, like I said, on the venue. So that is the very next one. The third way you can get paid is you can get paid just flat rate for the night. Now, this obviously depends on how many people you can bring in and what type of venue you're playing and how many people are in the band. Just kind of depends, but that is another way you can get paid. Another way you guys can get paid is you guys can pay guarantees, and I'm sure you guys have heard of guarantees too. And basically a guarantee is like, if I go and I show up and I play, no matter how many people show up, I am guaranteed to have X. And usually that's just like your travel costs or less than your travel, enough for like a hotel and maybe some gas money or like half of your plane ticket or something. Usually it's not a lot. And it's not meant to be a lot. It's just meant to cover your base transportation at most. And that's it. The very next way you guys can get paid for shows is you guys can get paid for tips. I mean, that one's pretty common too. You guys can get paid hourly. That one's not very common. That one's actually extremely uncommon. That's more for like solo artists who play like expensive restaurants and cafes, and that's also for weddings. Weddings a lot of times are either flat rate or hourly. There's also one other way to get paid during concerts, and that is through merchandise sales. And merchandise sales is actually probably going to be your biggest number one moneymaker when you're playing shows and doing tours. So make sure you have a merch table set up every time you get a gig. And make sure you've got good merch and advertise your merch. I know it sounds really weird as the lead singer or the rhythm guitarist to be like, hey guys, like, I hope you guys like the show, and we've got limited edition t-shirts. Check this t-shirt out, blah, blah, blah. Or something like, and we're releasing our debut album. You can get your signed copy right after the show over here, or whatever. Make sure that you're really pushing your merch, because you're going to get a lot of sales from your merch. Also, try to have somebody sitting at your merch table the whole concert, because there are people that might need to leave early, or people that might show up late or something, or like way after your band plays that want to buy your stuff on the way out the door, but you already left or something. You want someone always sitting there from the moment your band plays, maybe even before, till the moment everybody is left. Sitting at your merch table with your t-shirts and with your CDs and with your keychains and all the shit, trying to sell that shit. Even while you're playing, be like, I've got Freddie over there, he's my guy, and he's selling all my t-shirts. Go over there now and get your limited edition. And if you buy 2 t-shirts, then I'll throw in a free CD or something. You know, these little gimmicks do a lot. So make sure that you've got really, really good merchandise. Now I'm going to talk about how to kind of like negotiate. Now, this is kind of hard because it depends on the size of the venue you're negotiating with. It depends on how much leverage you have. It depends on whether you're planning the whole event or if you're only one band and you're just trying to play, or if you're, you know, renting the venue out, or, I mean, there's all kinds of different ways to kind of leverage this. Ideally, you want to try to like rent the venue out. Is a lot of that, and that's if you're like event planning. So if you've got like 3 or 4 bands lined up, you want to like rent the venue out, and you're probably going to make more money that way than any other way. But if you don't have that option, you don't have a lot of money, or you don't have other bands, or you don't want to like plan events, then ideally you want some sort of either guarantee or a percentage of liquor plus ticket sales is just kind of the ideal range. So that's kind of like what you're hitting for. You also want to get percentage at the door too. So make sure you get a cut of people coming in through the door. That is really, really important. Sometimes venues will try to like slip that one under the door without paying the bands, and you don't want that. Make sure that you pay attention and you get paid for those, because those are your people walking through that door. But ideally, like for example, if you're playing like a 100-person venue and you guarantee that you can bring 40 or 50 or so people, ideally at that point, you know, if you just do the math in your head, what's 50? Let's say it's $15 a ticket. So 50 times 15 is 750. So basically, if you're going to be selling 750 or so dollars worth of tickets, ideally you'd want at least a $500 or so flat rate for that event, or something like that. Now, if they're selling liquor and whatever at the door, that's cool. You want to try to get like 60 or 70% of the ticket and maybe like 10% of the liquor sales. I mean, you just kind of mix and match depending on the venue. Now, the bigger the venues get, the more people you have to guarantee. The more people you have to guarantee come to the venue, the bigger the guarantees get and the bigger the cuts get as well. So, I mean, if it's a really, really big venue, they're not going to be making quite as much as the smaller venues. Smaller venues tend to actually take larger percentages from you, which is really, really interesting. But it's just because the bigger venues, like, they expect the band to bring the crowd. The smaller venues, they still expect the band to bring the crowd, just not as much. So, I mean, these are different ways of getting paid and just kind of how to negotiate a little bit. Remember, you want to at least maybe try to get away with 2 things, either like a percentage of ticket plus percentage of liquor, or a percentage of liquor plus flat rate, or like a guarantee plus a flat rate if you bring X amount of people, for example. And those happen too a lot of times, where if you don't bring an X amount of people, then you don't get X amount of money. Try to stay away from tips, you know what I mean? And if you're getting paid a flat rate, try to make at least $100 per person, ideally. So, you know, if you're a 5-people band, try to make at least $500 for that. If you're playing a wedding, jack your prices up like majorly. Weddings start $2,000 minimum, like flat rate $2,000, like no less, like $2,000. I'm not even kidding. People will easily pay that. It's a fucking wedding. Like, you only have weddings once in your life, so like jack those prices up to 3, 4, 5, 6,000, 10,000, 12,000 if you have lights and you've got all kinds of cool shit. Like, you can really jack those prices up when it comes to a wedding and make it the best experience for them. And in turn, they will be really, really excited to have you playing their wedding, especially if you spend extra money on buying some lights for the show or something to make it extra, extra awesome. So I hope this video helps you guys negotiate getting paid for your concerts. If you guys want to see more videos about how to be a successful musician, how to make a living as a musician, just how to be better overall as a musician, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.